What's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on, y'all? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new review of Nelly and Ashanti. We Belong Together, episode 1, season 1. What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Friday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing. Now, before we get into this review, let me let you guys know what we got. Now, later on today, around 7:05, we got a special Whether You Like It or Not panel, and it will be over on Josiah's World TV's channel. We will be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta looks for today. Looks like I'm gonna be able to be there due to the fact that filming for today for me has been canceled. So it looks like I can still do the panel. At least as of right now, I can still do it. So make sure you guys tune in. If I'm not mistaken, I already put it in the Whether You Like It or Not playlist. So go ahead and get into it right now. Okay. And I mean right now. But that's all that we got to inform you guys about. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this review for Nelly and Ashanti. Okay. Now, I must say that I was kind of skeptical about, doing a review on this particular show, but this is something new. And it's nothing wrong with stepping outside your lane and doing like a new show or something like that. There ain't nothing really wrong with that. I've always liked Nelly. I've always liked Ashanti. I've been fans of them. They are part of my childhood. Okay. Nelly's Country Grammar was probably like the first album that I received as a middle school student. Like, of course, my mama had like the TLC stuff, but as far as albums that I owned, Country Grammar was the very first album that I owned. I got it for Christmas, followed by the Ludacris Back for the First Time album, which I got for my birthday. So those are the very first two albums that I owned as a kid. So this is a special place in my heart for these two. They definitely represent my sixth and seventh grade school year. They definitely do. As we all know, Nelly and Ashanti were together on and off for a couple of years and then they broke up. But then, they got back together a couple of years back and they've been at it ever since. So we're going to start it off with the show is starting off 3 months after Ashanti has had her baby. As far as I know, she had the baby in July. So that means that they started filming this show probably last October, probably. And because the baby is only like 3 months old, it's kind of hard for them to have a good time and find the time to have a little bit of fun because they got a newborn. So right now they're in Paris, they're overseas right about now. And Nelly is setting Ashanti up with this surprise birthday down there. Now, what she don't know is it's a bunch of her family members, a bunch of her friends. She's thinking that this is going to be like something very, very private, just very intimate, just them two together. That's what she's thinking that this is going to be. But Nelly got some other plans up his sleeve right about now. That's what he got up his sleeve. So she talked about going to the bridge to lock up, and Nelly don't really know what the hell she talking about. So you know that there's a bridge in Paris where you go to and then you lock it up, and I think you throw it in the water, and it just pretty much shows like an everlasting love, so to speak. That's what that is about. And Nelly don't know what the hell she talking about, but she is laughing. One thing about Ashanti, if you don't know anything about Ashanti and her personality, Ashanti is gonna cackle. That's one thing you do need to know about Ashanti. Her ass is going to cackle. If she find it funny, she's going to laugh. One thing about Nelly and Ashanti is their personalities are likable. Those are one, like when you're doing shows like this, you have to make sure that you are likable because likability gets you a long way. Okay. Like if you're unlikable, nobody wants to support, nobody wants to buy anything that you got going on. Nobody wants to support someone that's unlikable. I'm not saying that you can't get on the show and make a couple of mistakes, fuck up here and there. I ain't saying you can't do that. But what I'm saying is likability is very important. And I do think that Nelly and Ashanti has a lot of likability. I know a lot of people are mad at Nelly because of the Trump thing. I'm not necessarily mad at him about the Trump thing. Do I agree with the Trump shit? Absolutely not. But I ain't no Trump supporter, so I don't really give a damn. Everybody got their own political stances. And for whatever reason, there's some people that supports Trump. And if they want to support his orange ass, then that's on them. But I don't have to dislike them just because they support a motherfucker that I can't stand. But whatever. So as they're, riding around in this sprinter with Ashanti's momager now. Ashanti's momager is named Tina, and I think that anybody that's been a fan of Ashanti is absolutely aware of who Tina is. One thing I do know, even as a little kid, I knew that Tina did not play. Tina does not play when it comes down to Ashanti. She was like a modern day Sonya Norwood, if you ask me, because Sonya Norwood was probably one of the first momagers from our generation. So, absolutely. So, it's a surprise. They get to the place where they're having a birthday party at, and Ashanti is literally surprised. Nelly starts talking about Ashanti's family unit and how, close knit they are, how supportive they are as family members and things like that. And, his family back home wasn't like that. So he has a whole lot of inspiration from being around, like Ashanti and her family and how they are. That's one thing that I do envy about Ashanti's family, is that my maternal side is nothing like Ashanti's family. My dad's side is, but my maternal side, they're nothing like that. Like, they can't come together for dinners like this, or you got to pick, which family member that don't, that you feel would be capable of coming to the party, and, all of this side beefing, that side beefing. So with Ashanti, everybody comes together and they support each other. And that's pretty much the gist of that. And, Nelly pretty much said that that's the difference between his family situation and hers. So they talk about how they met. Now, according to them, Ashanti and Nelly met at the 2003 Grammy Awards, which would be fitting because they were coming off a big year for the both of them. Nelly was on a high from Nellyville, Hot and Her, Dilemma. Ashanti was on a high from her self-titled debut album and Foolish and Happy and Baby, 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 Baby. That type of shit. So they were on a high from that. And they both won Grammys that particular night. And so, you know, Nelly said that the Source magazine cover that she did when she was showing all that skin was really the biggest thing about her that really made him pay attention to her. So you mean to tell me that she had to show a little bit of skin for you to pay a little bit of attention? But you know what, I mean, that ain't nothing new. I mean, sometimes a little bit of chocolate skin kind of gets the body going. But I'm talking about my own shit. So let me not talk about me. But however, um, that's how they met and they dated for a long time. But then when they broke up, it was like they both were hurting. Ashanti hurt Nelly. Nelly hurt Ashanti. Ashanti had a whole lot of records about Nelly. I really believe that her Braveheart album was about Nelly, all the way from The Woman You Love to, Never Should Have Loved Me and all that, and Runaway and things like, and Scars and shit like that. She was brokenhearted over Nelly. I still think that The Declaration was about Nelly too, although she was kind of with Nelly. But they would be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But they hated each other. She hated him, he hated her. But then the versus battle happened between Fat Joe and Ja Rule. Now, if you know a Ja Rule record, and if you were a Murder Inc. fan, then you can't know that if Ja Rule is a part of a versus battle, what the hell make anybody believe that Ashanti is not going to be there? So Ashanti came in, did her thug thizzle, but one of Fat Joe's guests was definitely Nelly. And there was a lot of tension in the room between Nelly and Ashanti, but Nelly went over there and hugged Ashanti, and from that point on, they was back together. We kind of already knew that they was gonna be back together again. I mean, look at them. And have you seen them since they've been back together? They've been nothing but all smiles, nothing but love. I ain't saying that they're my couple goals, because there's no one out there that's a couple goal for me. I want to make my own motherfucking goals, honestly. But seeing them so happy, regardless of everything that they went through, that really makes me want something like a relationship. And for me, I know that sometimes I give the mixed impression of what I want, but I love love. I love to be in love with somebody. I love to give my all to somebody. I love to do things for the man that I love. And when you see me smiling and you see me gushing when I'm talking about a man, that shows the love that I got inside of myself for a man. I love to talk about, I love to play my little love songs that I like to dedicate to my man. Those are the type of things that I like to do. That's the type of time that I'm on, because I'm a man that loves love. And when I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you. There's nobody else out there that I want. Like, period. Like, once I'm in with you, baby, I am in. There's nothing that nobody can do to make me not love your ass. So, I haven't given up on love myself. When you see people like Nelly and Ashanti who were together and they broke up and then they got back together but broke up again, but then they finally got it right and then they get married and have a kid. I feel like, love is somewhere out there for me and I'm still looking for it. So hopefully I get it one day. I'm not closing the door to it, but I still have that yearning for a loving relationship. Who wouldn't? But yeah, so seeing them together just, kind of give me just a tiny bit of hope that there's some love out there for Scotty. They got married in St. Louis, but they didn't have a wedding, but they're planning to have a wedding. Now, was KK an oops baby? Like, was that a baby that they were trying to have? And Ashanti said, you better not ever refer to my baby as a oops baby, okay? Like, she don't play that oops baby shit, Now, he said, we weren't trying to, but we were definitely trying to have a baby, but not right then. That tends to happen, sometimes it be so good that you just get them pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. That's what it is, honestly. So that's kind of what I kind of take from the situation. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, so she's on mama bear mode. You know how new moms are when they have their kid for the first time. They are so closely connected to the child that they don't really know what they want to do. They don't know if they want to go. They don't know if they're coming or going. All they know is that their baby is there and they want to make sure that the baby is good. But her and Nelly have not finalized where they're living. They go shopping for mattresses or whatever. And those mattresses are fucking high. Like, baby, I was sitting in my bed watching this shit a minute ago, and one of those mattresses was like $76,000, and the other one was like $300,000 for a motherfucking mattress. But they got the money. But see, I'm a cheap muff, and even if I got the money to get shit, I won't get it. Like when you see people wearing like the Balenciaga and all this other shit that they be wearing, I can afford that. But I won't buy it. Like the Jordans and shit, I can afford that. But I'll buy a pair of Vans and be just fine with that. Like, I got other things I need to do and want to do. Like the shoes and the clothes can come later. But Nelly was not here for that 76K mattress, and I don't blame him. So Ashanti gets prepared for a Motown Christmas, but she's very nervous as it's last minute, and she doesn't want to leave her baby, and she doesn't really know some of these songs word for word, and she got to practice. And now, after she done had her baby, she got some double D's. She throwing some D's on that bitch right now, and they're big. So, she's looking for something that she can fit, but she really want her body back. That's really what she wants. So Ashanti and Nelly discussed the Christmas performance, and Nelly was like, "But why they ain't call me? Why they ain't call me?" And Ashanti was like, "I'm not really sure if I'm even gonna do it. Like, I'm having real doubts about it. I don't really want to get on no commercial flight with my baby. I don't want to get on no flight for 6 hours and leave my baby. Like, I got a lot in my head." And all that, which she's a first-time mom, so it's kind of understood and understandable why she have those doubts. But being that Nelly has already had kids, and then he got his sister's kids, he's already aware of how it is as a parent. He just wants Ashanti to kind of just relax, just chill out, and just figure things out. You know what I mean? They're talking about where KK is going to go to school, and there's this debate about St. Louis versus New York. Now, Nelly wants to live in St. Louis. That's his hometown. That's where his family is at. And that's where his office is at. That's where he does his work at, in St. Louis. So he would rather be in St. Louis. But Ashanti is a New Yorker at the heart, and that's where her family ties are. And that's what she wants to be. So Nelly don't want to live in New York, but Ashanti ain't really trying to live in St. Louis. I would probably, now, if you ask me, I wouldn't want to live in either St. Louis or fucking New York. Let's just be real. I wouldn't want to stay in there one of them damn places, to be honest. But that's something, maybe that's something that they do have to figure out. Like, or maybe go to a place where there's a happy medium, like maybe Dallas. That's a happy medium. or Houston, that's a happy medium. Or here in Atlanta, that's a happy medium. A lot of celebs live in Atlanta. A lot of celebs live right over here where I live. Like Tiana Taylor, all those different people, they live right out here where I live on the South Side. So there's plenty of places that they could go. But if one don't want to go to St. Louis and one don't want to go to New York, they need to find a neutral place where they both love. But I get everybody's point of view. My family in St. Louis, my family in New York, my work is in St. Louis, my work is in New York. So both of them got a point. So now Ashanti is unsure about the performance. She talks to Tina about her reservations about it, and Tina pretty much figures out a way to alleviate all of the pressure that Ashanti has. She's a new mom. This is going to be her first time going out after her pregnancy. She has a lot riding on this, and she has a lot in her head. So Tina is very understanding of where she is. So now Tina says that she spoke to Debbie, and there was 2, but it's really 3 songs, and Ashanti says that it's not happening. Tina says that she's here to support whatever Ashanti's decision is, but all she knows is we signed a contract and not prepared to get sued. Ashanti just has a lot going on in her head. It could be postpartum. I really don't know. But because I just heard her complain about her body. She wants her body back. She's scared to leave her baby. You know, she's worried about her baby. She's worried about this performance. She's worried about all the things of the things. So right now she's trying to figure it all out, right? So I get where she's coming from, and I understand what she's saying. You feel me? So that's pretty much the gist of that. But that was a good first episode. The second episode is already out, and when I get back from the barbershop and shit, I'll do a review on that. But I'm actually feeling this show, and I hope you guys feel it enough to watch the reviews. With that being said, you guys, this be your boy Scotty by Nature. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boy's up out of here, and I will see you guys on the next one. Ciao.
On some whole shit. What happened to the Zeus fame? Then Bobby made you change your name. For a show, still searching for a ring. Pray these hoes find better days. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody. Nigga never was a real one. Copping, please, spreading lies. What you hiding from? All these shows just an extra.
Little dance style, twerking on shit live. Bad bitch, munch it up, cock goblin. Slapping ass on his dick, cock goblin. Gobble up his dick, bitch, a cock goblin. Fuck him in his face, bitch, a cock goblin. Attitude bad, but I'm better. Ass poke out, just fatter.